When we start our market analysis, what we need to first define is the market segment that we are targeting. And be very clear on the fact that it's very difficult to address multiple markets or to address one single large market. You will be most successful if you could narrow down and focus on a very specific market segment. So what are we talking about? We're talking about segmenting your group of peers in San Diego County, for example, based on these criterion. So where do they live? You may have your business in San Diego County, but you may really only service a small portion of that county, especially if it's a retail business. You may really only deal with people of buying age, so the fact that children are not part of your demographic is important, or other elements that aren't relevant for your demographic. You would want to narrow down your market by that. Lifestyles are crucial, and then purchasing behaviors, so how they buy things and what they're willing to pay for things. This is another way you can look at how we segment the market. If this is all of the population of San Diego County, you can segment that by female, male, you can segment it by age, or you can segment it by gender and age, both. And what you're really trying to get to is, which box am I focused on for my business, and how do I find out what the total number of people are in that box? And when you do that, then you can define your Sheila. So Sheila is the name I have given to my target customer for the business that I investigated, which was a healthy fast food restaurant in Carlsbad. So the idea was that for young families who are interested in having healthier alternatives to fast food, this would be a place where you could drive through and get a healthy sandwich, a smoothie, a quick snack, or go in and have a nice dining experience with organic foods, fruits and vegetables, and not French fries. So my target customer was a woman named Sheila, who I completely made up in my head. She's 34, she has 2 children, she has a 2.5-year-old and a newborn baby. She's college educated. She is currently a stay-at-home parent, which means that her husband generates enough income to support that lifestyle, and she lives in the city of Carlsbad, which indicates a certain level of affluence. Once you've defined your Sheila, your target person, then you can move on to the next video, where we attempt to use demographic data to quantify how many Sheilas are there in the region that have physical access to the products you are trying to sell.